Hello everyone, welcome back to the Soundwave Podcast. Today I'm Amelia and we're with...
Hello, I'm Emma Salmon. I work for Soundwave. I am the creative producer and I'm excited to be a part of the podcast today.
I'm David and I'm often found here in the podcast.
In the podcast sphere.
Somehow becoming a podcast host myself. And our guest this week is
David Slack.
Okay. And what is it you do, Dave? It's Dave or David, do you mind?
Either or, really.
Aye.
Yeah, Dave or David. Yeah. So I suppose today we're going to talk about creativity, and in particular, I write poems.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just let's explore it and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
Perfect. So.
Yep. So we'll start off with the question we ask everyone, and that's, what are your top 3 favourite songs?
Okay. So when I first got asked that question, I thought to myself, it's got to be something old, because I grew up listening to soul music and Elvis Presley, Roy Orbison, Tom Petty and all them type of things, and I thought, whenever somebody says what type of music I'm into, we always say it's old stuff. But surprisingly, the 3 songs that jumped out to me that I love more than anything are actually quite modern songs. And so the first one is Florence and the Machine, Dog Days Are Over.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
tune.
Like, absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It's
Energy.
just such
Good.
an energetical expression, and the journey, and
Yeah.
I remember listening to that song quite early on in my sort of mental health journey, if you like, of self-understanding. I remember breaking down into tears, and it's like that song like cracked open a part of me, almost like feeling things again, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was that impactful. So yeah, that one. Next one is a band called Lord Huron.
Oh yes, yeah.
They've got a song called Way Out There,
Right.
and it's just an awesome song, like just really atmospheric. You're really immersed in the song of the instrumentals, and it's just, I imagine like going off in a forest, like just being in the wilderness.
They're awesome.
Yeah, so that one. And then lastly, Hosier,
Yeah.
song called Work Song.
Right.
And it's just unbelievable. Like, it's just, it sort of, when the other two were kind of like expressing and running free in forest, this is more about like love and devotion, and like
wow.
devoting to something that you really love.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Mm-hmm.
like you say, we can't play them on this podcast. This, we'd
Get
get
shouted at.
or we'd get some kind
Great
of bill.
choices though. They're great tunes.
Um,
Dog Days Are Over, is it?
Mhm.
That's an awesome Florence and the Machine song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is good, isn't it?
Yeah,
But-
she's not got anything out recently, has she? She's not really
No.
out in the charts at the minute.
No.
I'm sure
No.
she'll return with a banger soon. Hosier though, he's still releasing a lot of stuff, isn't he?
It's got that Too Sweet one out at the minute, hasn't
Oh
it?
yeah,
It's good.
I love that tune.
Yeah, he is good.
Great. Thanks for them recommendations.
Great.
No bother.
Check them out.
Thank you.
We'll have our music on there,
Yeah.
and then we're going to move on to talking about poetry, I guess.
Yeah.
So you've got some questions lined up.
Yep. Okay. The first question I'd want to ask was, how did you get started into, you spoke about mental health, how did you get started into writing poetry?
So, I grew up in West Cumbria, and like a lot of men, young boys probably at the time, as I grew up and I fell down that sort of path of going to the gym, playing rugby, trying to be a big muscular alpha male, trying to be a laddie lad, because I thought that's what you needed to do to fit in and to get a partner, to get a woman to fall in love with you and have a girlfriend. You need to have big muscles and be alpha male. So I went down that journey, and well into my teens and young adulthood I was on that path basically, but something didn't feel right. Like, it just felt like there was something missing. Like, I didn't feel connected. I didn't feel like I was a laddie lad. I didn't feel like I was like the person I was trying to be basically. So a lot of my friendships and relationships, they felt very, very shallow. Like, there's just something was missing from an intimate point of view. Like, they just wasn't my bang really.
Yeah.
So anyways, long story short, this reached a point where I just felt really low, really lonely, Felt like I wasn't meeting people who I could connect with. Relationships kept ending because there was something missing. Looking back now, I believe that was like my feminine nature, my expressive nature, my nurturing nature that I was sort of banishing because I thought that's not attractive.
Okay.
So anyway, I just remember reading Alfred Wainwright's books.
Oh, right.
Alfred, because I'm a keen fell walker.
Yeah.
And I remember some of his words, like some of his use of words, like we were made to crash and then soar and rise again. And like, I remember there was one in particular that said, even a raging toothache can be forgotten about if you're sat beside the inanimate tarn on haystacks.
Oh, right.
So just some of his use of language, it was beautiful and it really touched a part of me. So I just started journaling one night, just sort of expressing things like anxiety, emotions, just getting it all out on paper.
How old were you at this point?
Oh, God, at this point I was probably, late 20s?
All right, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
late 20s.
Yeah. And had you journaled before ever?
No, never.
So you
never.
just felt moved to
I
write
just
something?
felt something needed to get out.
Wow.
It's like I couldn't express my emotions through my body.
Well, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because I grew up, you couldn't be angry. You couldn't be fearful, because it was like all your emotions, your anger, sadness, fear and joy, you got banished.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, don't be angry, don't be a scaredy cat. Even a part of you, when you're opening your Christmas presents as a kid, you feel like you can't express joy because it's cringe.
Right, oh yeah,
Too
definitely.
much,
Yeah.
you know? So every emotion, I grew up feeling like I couldn't feel.
Right, got you.
So through writing, it was almost like I was getting it out of my body onto the paper.
That's cool.
And I found myself like picking subjects at the time, like anxiety. So I would write a poem about anxiety, like what it means to me. And honestly, just these rhymes just started coming to me. And then it was almost like I'd alchemized that suffering into a package. And then I started sharing them with people. And they resonated to it as well.
Wow.
Right.
So through poetry, I was helping myself express this energy that needed to come out, but I was helping other people feel seen as well.
Okay.
So that's kind of how it.
So that classic thing with your poet where people around are feeling the same, but they don't want to see it. But when you do, they're kind of like, oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And you're like, you're giving people a little bit of a voice there as well, aren't you? Who maybe haven't got that skill to turn what they're thinking into words or a poem. But it's, if that's something they can share with someone else and like, here's the crack. That's a useful thing for people, I think.
So did you, just curiosity, did you just share, were you sharing it with your friend? Was there a point where you're like, oh, I want to share this, or?
So at the time, I just had my own Instagram page, just personal, really.
Cool.
I started sharing them on my stories.
Ah, okay.
So I would just share like some, one particular was called Anxiety. It was the very first poem I wrote.
Wow.
Could maybe read that at some point. But, and then people started to comment saying, oh, I feel like there's a, like, what was it? People used to say, like, you've said exactly what I was thinking, but I couldn't put it into words. Like you were touching on.
Yeah, exactly, because that's it, isn't it? And,
Yeah.
and I think that's really useful when people see and read things like that, because then they might go, oh, it's not just me.
Yeah.
And that's what's good about having that kind of thing out in the world, is like someone else sees it and will go, oh, thank God for that, you know.
There was a famous quote, and I can't remember who says it. It might have been Joseph Campbell, but it really touched something. And it was poetry is the lie that reveals the truth.
Ah, okay.
And it's like, well, obviously, poetry is not literally a lie, but it's like it's not
It's like
direct language, is it?
Yeah.
So it touches about something in a lie way, but reveals the truth from within. And I just love that, because it's
But I think sometimes it's interesting though, because it's a credit to you as a writer as well. I think someone saying to you, oh, you've managed to say something in a way that I felt but couldn't say, is you've probably managed to just simplify it. And so, you know what it's like, you listen to a song and there's a lyric or it just hits you a certain way and you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I feel like. But it's hard to actually think those things. Sometimes it takes like a writer or someone more creative
exactly
to put those into words for somebody else to feel that way, I guess.
Yeah,
and it gives people permission to feel it as well, I guess.
100%. I think it's like pain, isn't it? It's like rawness. It's like part of me feels like I haven't wrote it. It was just something that came through me, and I've just opened up and allowed it to, in a sense.
So in the terms of that writing, and actually getting your thoughts out of your head, onto paper, whatever format you use. So you're saying you didn't have any kind of formal sort of background education or anything like that you just kind of worked that out yourself?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I went to school and stuff and did English and that, and I remember in particular at school I always liked English language, like that's what I took at A-level.
Right.
So I always loved language. As I say, Alfred Wainwright's books were really impactful to me, the way he used his words. Lyrics, obviously song lyrics always touch me. Just artistic ways of saying things. I mean, I love the Arctic Monkeys and how they just the way, like, it's such a
he's got an knack to it, hasn't he?
Just something that's like deep but also cheeky as a way. So I don't know, just something I've always liked. But then because I was wearing this alpha male mask all my life, I wasn't allowing that. And then it's only when I hit rock bottom that I'm almost cracked open and it started coming out.
That's it, isn't it? But it's always good to hear, because I think when people sometimes think about that, sometimes the first thing that stops them is like, oh well, I haven't learned how to do it, or I'm not this, I'm not, and then it's like, I think it's always good to hear the people who are doing it go, yeah, I never went to poetry university, whatever that is. It's just like just go for it. If it's there, it's there, isn't it?
I mean, most of my poems probably aren't grammatically correct, but they still land. You know what I mean? Like, like I'm definitely not.
No, they definitely don't, do they? I think that's the thing with poetry and that kind of language. Is sometimes, and like you said about Alex Turner, the way he's saying things in his dialect and the way he talks, it ain't grammatically correct.
It's everyday language he uses, like he says
exactly, but
quite interesting things.
But that's the thing that people want to hear and like
connect to.
Exactly. And if it was all in Queen's or King's English, whatever we say now.
I think sometimes as well when you read things like that, whether it's a poem or a creative, like a story or a song, whatever, if it is too like woo woo and a bit like you've got to like work to understand it, sometimes it's like you're like, oh, I'm not smart enough to understand this. Like when people just say it in a certain way that's just like simple and to the point and emotional. I think it's sometimes the most impactful stuff, isn't it, really? Just get to the point.
So how do you get into the headspace to write stuff about other people's lives?
I guess it's more just writing it about my own life and just through, human nature. Other people have been through what I've been through, in a sense. I guess there's a lot of people experience anxiety, a lot of people feel loneliness, disconnection. There's a lot of people reached out to me and says, as a man, I feel that too. I felt that I've went down that path of trying to be Rambo. Because it's I suppose, to understand the deeper layer of it, it's to understand that we've all got a masculine side, but we've all got a feminine side, and it's energy, really. It's understanding that dance between the energy and
and feeling comfortable with it and just letting it happen, right? Because that's it. There is a lot of pressure on. You see it a lot with young lads now. That thing, I mean, it's always been there, the macho alpha male type thing, and the stereotypical things you've got to do to be a man.
But also, like, not seeming to want to like things that are maybe more quote unquote girly. Something that girls do. It's like you do still see that, don't you? Because even with the work that we do at Soundwave, sometimes we do a lot of singing stuff or songwriting stuff, and you do sometimes sense that some people are maybe making fun of it or maybe being a bit like and you go, I think you maybe actually want to do this and join in with this, but you're just not able to let yourself do it,
because I think
and we're there like, come on, write a song. There's lots of male songwriters out there that make lots of money.
But I think the pressure now though of that thing's even more so now. From where I'm looking at it anyways, it seems like there's a lot more pressure on young lads to be in the gym and be on roids, the whole thing, and it's like, why is it so, it's like it even seems worse now than it ever has been,
Just probably the influence of them feeling like they're seen everywhere. They've got like TikTok accounts and Instagram accounts where everyone can see what they're doing, and they've got to be seen to be doing the right thing, that going to the gym or looking a certain way or getting the right clothes,
and then of course there's the macho influencers as well. I'm not using the names here, but we all know it is. But
Yeah.
You know, there's all that as well, isn't there? Is that our Ring camera again? Or does it every time?
So I'm just interested from like a fellow creative person that likes to write, because I've journaled my whole life every day. I'm always interested in creative people and whether they have like a daily creative practice. So do you find, because you hear lots of stories about people that write every day religiously and it's like a routine thing, and then people that kind of just let the creativity, when it comes to them, then they write. Do you have a creative practice daily, weekly, yearly, goals, things like that? Do you do any of those things?
A bit of both, really. So I guess I live very much open to creativity. So I like, because I'm, how can I describe it? I am very contemplative in my nature. Like, so if I'm like sat, like just like sounds really creepy this, but before bed every night, right, I've got like this window that looks onto like a forest out behind our house.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I open the window fully, not just like ajar, like it opens fully so you feel like you're outside. Wow. Yeah. And I just literally just sit there, just breathing nice and gently. And if you're there for like a few minutes, it's amazing like what comes. Like maybe like a little owl will come, or like something magical will happen. Like it's just, if you just remain open to nature, like I find that a lot of inspiration comes from that. And I wouldn't say that's like a creative discipline, but it's amazing how when I'm there, just being contemplative and just like relaxed, I guess, things come to me. You know, like maybe ideas or things that I want to write about, or so that in general, like, and that's like, just say for example, I was like stood in Costa Coffee waiting for my coffee. Like I guess I just observe things in daily life.
Cool.
And it's something that I've just consciously tried to be present in a lot of situations. Like if I'm in a queue in Costa or whatever I'm doing, I'm not scrolling on my phone in autopilot. I'm trying to be open to life, and maybe see a couple over there, and I'll see a good nice moment, like where I see them like hug each other, and it touches a part of me, and I'll think, oh, you know, and then I'm always hopping on my phone and writing notes, like little moments, you know. I'll maybe hear something, someone will just jump out, and then I'll think, oh, I want to capture that phrase. I'll write it in my notes, and then later on I'll go back to it and like work with it.
Cool. Okay. So you always you allow inspiration to come at any point. Yeah. There's no like expiration date on it. I guess you're just always open to it.
Yeah,
That's
guess
cool.
like I could literally be driving, and then someone will like, I'll maybe hear someone on the radio and say, oh, I like that. I'll pull over on the side of the road and make a note of it. So I guess I don't maybe have a discipline as such where I'm like, no, now I'm gonna have an hour's time to be writing. I just like stay open, and then through that, like my work sort of comes from that.
And do you find, do you prefer the written word with your hand? Do you like to write in a book, or do you like to use your notes and things to write your poems? What do you do?
Both. Really. Okay. So if I haven't got a pen and paper with us, I'll write in my notes. Yeah. But if I'm sat at home and I've got both, I do prefer writing. Cool. Because I like just like scratching stuff out and then writing again, and scratching it out. But yeah, I also like speaking it as well, because if I've spoke it like that, I feel like I can project like the emotion that's with it. Cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. That sounds like a good time to hear one then.
Would you like to share a poem, or is one
definitely. I'd love to share one. Let me think. This is a more recent one. Perhaps maybe
exclusive.
Yeah, well, it's hot off the press. It's literally So this one is called Where They Are. We're all on a journey, each on our own road. It doesn't matter who is carrying the most load. Some of us are spiritual, some of us like to compete. Some are oblivious, yet don't even question if they are complete. Some of us read books, some of us just live. Some measure what they have by how much they give. Some of us are doing the work because all we want is to heal, so that we can accept another's love now that we know how to feel. The wisest thing you've ever heard said could come from a homeless man who isn't well read. There's no fixed path or judgment on how far. So let's just love everyone exactly where they are.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Nice. Oh, thanks for sharing.
Great.
Hitting us with blinders there. Wow, one after the other, they were great. That is so true, that point about, wow, that was really cool. Sometimes the most mundane things people say can just be like, that was the most poetic thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like,
That happens all the time.
honestly, like, it happens with me recently. So me and my partner we were just walking in the house, and again, it's just being open to people.
Yeah.
So there's this neighbour that crosses our paths from time to time, and you know, some people just, are you alright, and just get in the house because all they're bothered about is just getting in after work and not really paying attention. But me and Nell just sat and we just allowed him to speak. You know, we could have been the only people that he'd actually been present with all day. And instead of shutting him down and being like, oh, we've got tea on, we better get in, we just allowed him to speak. And it was this elderly man speaking about the love that he has for his cat. Right? And it was absolutely beautiful. I mean, we were just like, instead of shutting him down, and we were actually just allowing him and encouraging him to express his love for his cat. And anyways, he said this thing that he basically said, so our Floyd, he goes on his nightly rounds and that, and he's all going around the neighbourhood and all that and stuff like that. And he says, but as much as I love him and as much as I feed him and that, if he went on his nightly rounds one time and he didn't come back the next morning, he said, I would just nod my cap to him and wish him all the best. You know, and I thought, that's such a powerful message. Because, like, as much as we love something, like, it's about being deeply invested in it, but like loosely attached, you know. Like, don't cling to it. Just, if that passes by, because everything is transient, isn't it, in its nature. And I just got that from him, and it was just a beautiful thing of just accepting the impermanence of everything, but still do love it,
adoring it so much, being okay with it leaving. But you wonder if he actually really understands what he's saying.
I know, that's what I mean. I know. That's
it's like the most beautiful thing ever. Oh, sweet. But don't get me started about animals. They're just the best, aren't they?
Oh yeah, animal. You mentioned about, like, before, what do I'm looking into my dog's eyes, like literally just sitting and looking into your dog's eyes. Like,
What kind of dog you got?
We've got 2 long-haired chihuahuas.
Cute. They're the best. Oh God, I've got so many memories. We used to have like a family border terrier. He died when he was like 18, so he was like lived quite a long time. But he was like a brother, and I feel like I always talk about him still. And there was times where like I was really upset or like crying or whatever, and he'd be there, and he would like look at you with panic. You know, it was like you felt like he like. It was like a purse. It was like a weird kind of. And I feel like if people don't have animals, sometimes they don't understand how. You know, a love for an animal is like. It's deep, innit? It's real.
Very deep.
Like, I knew him like half my life. That dog.
Yeah.
It was crazy when he passed away, but I get over it. It's just a dog. God, it's not like a human. They don't talk. I'm like, but they give you so much of. They're so happy. And I always remember Hayley Williams, the Paramore singer. I think I tell this crack like every time I get a chance. But she was in this interview and she'd said she was really struggling with depression or something, I think, at the time. And she said the amount of times I might have like took my own life if it wasn't for my dog greeting me and being the only happy thing to see me that day. My dog like saved my life pretty much, she was saying, because it was always just so willing to give her love all the time. And I was like, gosh, that's like so you know, the impact they can have on your life is wild. It's amazing.
It's insane. Like, I'm reading a book actually, funnily enough, at the moment about the magic of animals, and it's this guy, and he talks about how dogs have got this like ability to know when your owner's coming home, like even though like you could be working shifts, you could be travelling home in a different vehicle, and they've just got this like almost like this innate telepathic connection with their owner, and they know when their owner's coming home. Like, and there's all sorts of stories in this book of evidence where the dog will like just pick up and run to the sofa, and it's like 5 minutes later like the owner walked in and stuff like that. We are so deeply connected to animals beyond what we even believe, aren't we?
Yeah. And when you talked before about opening your window and looking out into like nature, how much is like living in the lake, because you are known online as like the Lake District poet, Is that your...
I think it's something like that. What
Oh,
is
do you
it?
have-
Like I Lake Literature poet.
Yeah. So do you pull a lot of inspiration from the lakes? Do you
Yeah.
find that brings you so? Because it is just like the most amazing backdrop to live around, right? For creativity.
100%.
Absolutely, it's such a powerful place to live in, and the stories from the lakes, like, I mean, I just love it. Like anything nature and cold water exposure, and sat like next to a big oak tree. Me and my partner are into foraging as well, so we like
cool.
sort of learning the seasons, and we get excited for the cyclical nature of like, we'll obviously make some nettles tea this time, or we'll look out for the dandelions and the mushrooms as well, mushroom season. Just feeling like you're deeply connected to where you live.
Yeah.
It almost gives you like an innate purpose, and I think in this day and age, especially when I was younger, I did suffer with not having a purpose, and to know that you can get that from the land and nature, it's been an important thing for me.
Yeah. I mean, it is, and I think we are blessed living where we do, actually, all of that. I mean, even yesterday I just went up a felt. I've been up 100 times.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 99, I don't know. But because there was snow up there yesterday and it was looking a bit moody because there was clouds were coming down, it looked completely different than it ever has before.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow, check it out. And then take pictures on your phone and they just never come out.
Never capture it, yeah.
Never come out like that. So you've got to remember it up there, haven't you? And it is quite inspiring, that. And you mentioned you like them wearing right boots and that. So, what's your favourite fell?
Ooh, good question.
It's a hard one.
It is a hard one because they're also beautiful.
Give your heads up on that.
And I'm
one,
not a Wainwright bagger as well. I'm not ticking them off or anything like that. Like I do the same ones loads of times in different seasons and that. I suppose. Well, my favourite place is Haraptan.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful up there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Just a town that's surrounded by mountains, and it's just a gorgeous place.
Yeah.
So I tend to love that as my favourite place.
Yeah.
Favourite fell probably would be Great Gable.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Anybody else got a favourite fell?
I don't really know them by name. Dave tells me which ones to go on. But I just forget what they're all called. But it's just beautiful, isn't it? You just take it for granted sometimes.
Oh, I know.
How beautiful it all is, and how peaceful it can make you feel. And even that thing of taking photos, I've tried to do it a couple of times recently where I've gone up there and I'm like, I'm not going to take a photo. Because you have that urge to get your phone out and take a picture. And I've noticed that in myself. I'm like, why am I wanting to capture this? And I'm like, I want to actually just stand here and take it in.
Yeah.
And getting back to that all the time.
Barely ever look back at them as well.
Well, yeah, you're just taking it. It's like, I need to remember this. You've got a brain to remember it. You don't need to get the phone. Doesn't need to remember it for you.
Yeah.
You can remember it for you. You're like, I don't know. I'm trying to get rid of that electronic hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it becomes a weird thing as well where people share them.
And you're like, yeah.
Where were we? We were going to up Wasdale, where where them pools are.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't going to them pools. We were just walking up past that way, basically. I can't remember which fell we were going to. But there was this group of Scouse lads turned up at the same time we did, and they were behind us for a bit, and then they were in front. When you cross people on a path, and then we got so far, and they were looking for them pools, right?
Yeah.
And we were like, they're up here. So we got, they were there, and then they were looking on the phones and going. But someone had been putting them on Instagram, but making themselves look great and all that in it, and then it was it wasn't the same in real life for them, and you were just how can you be disappointed in this? You could tell they were just disappointed, but it was it was because there was some weird Instagram thing that was going on,
Wow.
Yeah, it's the generation of the influencer, isn't it? And it's everything's about what they're putting online and getting the likes and stuff, and they're posting at places where they weren't really actually present at, aren't there? And
Dave was trying to get the right angle of it.
Angles, filters, all of that kind of stuff, yeah. And then away they go.
Yeah.
So we were looking before have a book. Is that right?
Yeah, I do actually have a book. Yeah,
How
it's just a
exciting.
self-published book. Really, I done it on Amazon, self-publishing, and it wasn't something I consciously set out to write. It was something that once I'd got a collection of a few hundred poems, I just thought, hey, tell you something, I've got a few now. I'll just get them in a book.
Yeah.
So I just put them in a book.
Yeah.
How many are in the book? Do you know how many there are?
I would say there's about 200 in the book.
It's
but
amazing.
I
wow.
released the book a couple of years ago now, so I feel as though I've got another book in us soon.
Okay. Yeah,
amazing.
fair's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
200 poems. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And as well as that, you said you've got a podcast. How did
Yeah.
you get started on podcasting?
Again, it was. I remember when I was feeling one of my most loneliest. I come across this podcast called the Modern Wisdom Podcast, and it was just this guy sitting on his sofa with some friends, and they were talking about experiences, being a man, mental health things, mindset, discipline, stoicism. And I just thought, for the first time in my life, I feel seen. Like I feel as though these people would be my friends.
Yeah, cool.
So I was just sat and I would watch this podcast like every week, and I would be my social time really.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
on my own in my house, but I'd feel like I was with my mates.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I thought, something, I'm just gonna start my own podcast. So I looked, there was an app called Anchor, and I just started speaking into it and going, okay, today's episode I'm going to be talking about this.
Yeah.
And it was very raw and a lot of mistakes and that, but I think that's also important, to give yourself permission to be vulnerable and raw,
Yeah.
because we all want to be perfect and clean and snazzy and cool, but it's like when you go to a coffee date with your friends, and you're all sort of want to sound cool and like you've been up to something cool, but if it's the person who comes out and just says, hey, I'm having a bloody meltdown, and just owns their vulnerability, you feel everyone else take like a sigh and just be like,
Oh yeah, it's okay to not be doing
it's
all
okay just to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, I do think that's another important thing, like give yourself permission to be vulnerable.
stuff. Yeah. And it's good to be, and it can be hard to be that person, because it sounds like you've been that person a lot, where you've been the first one to be or in your immediate world around, you've been the first one to be vulnerable or and sometimes you taking that step. And I think we can all have moments where you've maybe done that yourself and you've gone, oh, I'm just going to do it. And then to see the feedback, and then you've given them permission as well.
Yeah.
So the ripple effect of that bravery or courage, whatever you want to call it, like that can have a real, seeing somebody else just go, oh, I'm having a crap day or whatever. As small as that might feel, or even as how like vulnerable that might feel to say it, you've just completely eased their, it's wild, the impact that could have.
Yeah, it's massively important, and it's where intimacy comes from, isn't it? That realness, that rawness. Like otherwise you're just putting a mask on and you don't really feel seen, because it's not you, is it? It's not who you really are.
Yeah. Okay, I've got another question. Sorry, slightly changing the subject, but I was just wondering there, because we've got Emma McGordon coming in at some point to join us on this podcast. Do you work with any other local poets or anything like that?
No, I don't. I'm not really familiar with too many, to be fair. Although I would love to have a community to be part of poetry. I guess it's just finding it. And
yeah, because I think that's what was my next question. It was like, do you know are there many like poets? It's not for me personally. It's not something I know a lot about. Poetry in Cumbrian poets. Obviously that'll change now. But I just Is there a community or?
Not that I'm familiar with.
No.
I mean, I follow people online just through learning about them. So one of the poets that I like is called InQ. IN-Q.
Right.
And he's a really good spoken word artist / poet. And he's got a book and it's amazing. So him, going back to sort of like years ago, like spirituality, and like there's a poet called Rumi. Rumi. So there's a lot of his famous quotes. But he's actually a poet, so I read his books. So yeah, it's just online really, but I would love to have a space where there's other poets and.
Do you ever do like open mics? Do you go and perform your poetry?
No,
things?
Again, I'm not familiar with any around here, but I would love to.
I mean, at Soundwave we're having a next week actually on the 23rd of Jan, because we like obviously we're in a very STEM heavy area, and Soundwave are a very musical, creative charity, and we work with lots of different like disciplines and things, mostly music, but we have a lot of creatives that come through our doors, and we get, you know, we're always at lots of meetings and things where we speak with people, and we just wanted to create something that was just for creatives to meet up and chat and just meet other people that were like creative, whether you're a musician or a poet or an artist or someone that, you know, makes whatever. And we're having our first ever event like that on the 23rd of January, which is next Thursday, and we're going to try and do them once a month. So there's no agenda from us, it's just literally in this building on King Street, and people that are creative can just come and hang out and meet other people, and with the hope that maybe people form creative projects, or if there's like a bassist that comes on their own and there's a guitarist there, they might jam together, or
yeah, that'd be awesome.
So yeah, that could be, maybe if you'd wanted to come along to that, if you know anybody that would.
Yeah, 100%.
If there isn't a group, it's like you can, I guess sometimes you've got to be the first one to do that as well.
It's it, isn't it? Yeah,
because it is lovely to collaborate, isn't it, with people and partner with people on things, and having like a Cumbrian poetry night would be pretty.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be cool actually, wouldn't it?
I think naturally we all are creative. You know, you see people say, "Oh, I'm not creative," but I don't even think creativity is something that we own. It's like opening to the universal creativity field, if you like, or you know, it's just being open to that.
Yeah, I think a lot of things can affect, especially I guess with music, with us, the thing we do the most, other people can influence how creative you might maybe have felt at one point, and then somebody's maybe like squashed it a little bit. Because we get so many people that are like, "Oh, my teacher said I was tone deaf, or said I should stop playing, or said I could," and that comes up a lot, and especially in like older people. They say, you know, as if it was, they rhyme it off as if it happened yesterday, you know, and you go, "Oh, that's affected you." Like, someone's saying something
completely.
That person probably wouldn't even remember they've said it, but, you know, it's a real kind of, it is a vulnerable part of yourself. The first time you were ever creative or ever shared something that was like a piece of yourself like that, you know, it's a lot, isn't it, to do that? And then if someone just goes, "You're rubbish, shut up," or "That was lame," or that can be like, "I'm never doing that, I'm locking myself away and I'm never sharing anything from inside again."
That's it. So can you remember the first time that you did that? Did you shared your one of your poems publicly?
Honestly, this is going to sound like really strange, but I'm not going to like say any names or anything like that, but I remember,
get our lawyers ready.
I remember there was a time, because what you brought up there has actually triggered something within myself. That I remembered it. So this is right. So I was basically at school, and I was reading something in class. Okay, just like it must have been like Of Mice and Men or something, whatever.
Oh, gosh.
I was reading something out in class.
Bring it back. I remember it well.
And I visually remember somebody laughing at me in the back of the class, like the couple of the popular girls, if you like, laughing. And my nervous system took that as a freeze, like a shock. So I basically like shut down because they were laughing at me, and obviously I lived my life, carried on living my life, and I didn't realise how much that affected me up until a few years ago. And again, I'm not mentioning any names or not like that, but I was at the gym, and I didn't know, but I was training in the gym. I was in my comfortable environment, working away in the gym, and I started to have like a bit of a panic attack.
Right.
Like I started to feel palpitations, clammy hands, and I was like, this is a bit strange. I'm in the gym, I'm comfortable, I'm fine, you know. And then it was only when I was on the way out of the gym, I noticed that one of the girls who was at school started the gym, and I must have unconsciously seen her in the gym, and I clocked her, and I was like, wow, that's like just shows how deep like the anxiety is. Like if I had a flashback, and I've unconsciously like clocked that lass who laughed at me at school and brought out a
younger part of yourself, that was scared or whatever.
So that moment like almost like empowered me to start like stepping into my voice, if you like. Like, so I suppose it just shows how like a moment like that at school where I felt ridiculed has affected me unbeknownst to myself, to the point where I've had a panic attack when I've and then like to the point where no, I'm going to go full circle with this and just
go for it.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's a lesson for people to be kinder though, isn't it? Because those little moments...
you don't realise.
You don't realise what you're doing.
That is it.
It really damage people. It really can.
Yeah.
And even reading... I've even just several times where you're waiting for your paragraph to come round. You know, when they go around all the people and you've got to read your bit out next. And if you stumble over your words or if you...
Yeah.
So, that was a big thing, reading stuff out in class. I remember that being awful as well.
Well, look at Robbie Williams' dad in that movie, The Better Man. Have you seen that?
I've not seen it, no.
Honest to God, it was amazing. But you don't, obviously, you see Robbie's story and how his dad would say, you're either a somebody or you're a nobody.
Oh, wow.
And that stuck with him.
Right.
And the trauma of just words, of something your dad said to you.
Yeah.
But... powerful, innit? Very powerful.
It really is. But then to be able to go to have that healing moment for yourself where you see them again and then you feel the fear of it and then you're like, no, I'm gonna rewrite it a bit for myself. I'm gonna go for it. That's you wish everyone could have that.
Yeah.
Because some people never get that, do they? They get the nasty thing and then that just stays with them and they never do the thing. Can you think of all the people out there that maybe would have gone on to maybe do something that was a bit different or a bit, and someone's just gone, oh, you're lame. Cringe or
but not only that, but even at a bigger scale, if you see the kids who've perhaps maybe got ADHD tendencies or are on the neurodiverse thing, but they're trying to fit into a school system that's very linear, and yet if they'd have been understood, they would have maybe ended up inventing something or being geniuses creatively.
Absolutely.
But instead it's you're just a naughty kid.
You put in a box.
You know what I mean?
That's all you are.
So it's very powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you've just triggered a good memory for me with Mice and Men.
Mice and Men, yeah. Oh.
Well, we had a teacher, that was in the 80s, he was called Mr. Chambers, rest in peace, he's dead now, but he used to read that. That was the one that he never let anyone else read. He did it all. And he used to get in character and that.
Did he?
Yeah, and he had voices for Lenny and all of that kind of
They're
stuff,
the best teachers that get into it.
Absolutely, and I think I've seen this come up actually on Facebook as well. People have remembered Mr. Chambers reading of Mice and Men.
But I even think that's such an interesting point to make as well, is that it's so important to have people like that.
Yeah.
That are willing to be, I don't know, to lose their inhibitions a bit. Because I've got teachers in my head or adults in my life that I've gone, oh, they're just being silly or they're just being creative or whatever it is. And sometimes you need that gives you permission to, because even that you go, oh, that's cool. He's getting into it. It's not, you all enjoyed that he was getting into it. In other worlds you might go, cringy, why is he reading the words out like that? Why is he but actually it's him fully embracing those characters and reading it that way.
Aye, but when he first started doing it and you were in that class, everyone was just like this.
But then by the end of it, the mouths are open
you're just
hanging on his every word.
Yeah, you're just it's one of them things where it's really weird, but the next week you're just like, I hope he's reading that again this week. And
you secretly.
He's going to ask one of us to do it because you have to stand up and put on the I don't care facade and then speak like you're in the school play. I'm not showing any emotion and ruined the Mice of Men for us. I feel like that's another good place for you to read another poem if you don't mind, if you've got another one in mind.
Yeah, let's have a look. Okay, this one's called We Choose It All. What if our subconscious is choosing the things we need to help us grow, but because they cause us immense pain, it is keeping us out of the know? Maybe it's in our contract to go through some deep hurt, so we can alchemize the suffering and blossom through the dirt. I believe there's a universal love, and it's always on our side, but it works in mysterious ways, and it has lessons that it cannot hide. Sometimes we feel like a victim, but that's necessary too. So in time, we're able to look back and see how far we've grew. What if our trauma becomes a blessing someday, and our healing helps many others to experience the world in a better way?
Nice, thank you. Thanks very much for coming in and talking to us and for sharing them with us. We're going to have to close up because we're going to have social sketch session starting soon, which happens every Monday. Do get in touch. But thanks for coming and doing that. That was really good.
That was brilliant. And check out David's podcast as well.
Yeah. So have you got any socials or anything that you can send people to check out your work?
Yeah, so on Instagram, it's just known as DJS/poems. That's just my initials and then poems. And then my podcast is called the All For Us Podcast.
Real. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.